Boy, oh boy, oh boy, there's a Southern River band, boys. That is Hamish Brayshaw's favourite band in the world.
It is number one on my most recents. The Streets Don't Lie. Thank you very much.
You are on the Shelter FootyCast. Live from BackChat Studios, Will Schofield, Hamish Brayshaw with you today. Skeeter's at Lord's.
Yeah, cheers.
Is at the Ashes.
Cheers, Skeet.
We've got some updates from Skeeter. Stay tuned. They're quite funny. I've been texting him all night. How are you, Hammer?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Very
How's
good.
Sydney?
Sydney was good. The game, not so good. Broke
enough.
that down on Monday, but not the greatest performance you would have seen from West Coast in your time.
No, I've seen better.
What's the biggest loss you've ever played in?
I played in 150-0 loss against Murrumbina in under 13s.
150-0.
Yep.
Where were you playing?
I was playing centre half back, and if not for me, it would have been 400-0. I think.
In seven Bs. I was in the A side in year 7. I was 7 Bs. We played Xavier at what's the old Collingwood ground?
Oh yeah. Footy Park, I think they call it.
That's bad by both of us.
Yeah, I've played a VFL game there.
Yeah, so played there. Grim scenes. Hadn't kicked a goal at 3/4 time.
Amy Park? No, that's where they actually train.
No, can you please find that out, Jaden? So we played there.
Yep.
The coach at 3/4 time, Mr. Angeleschi, right, one of the all-time great coaches.
Yep.
He goes, boys, if you don't kick a goal in this last quarter, we're not stopping at Hungry Jack's McDonald's on the way through.
Oh, you're a
Back
Geelong
to
boy,
Geelong.
yeah, of course.
So he put the takeaway food, which was a staple of it, getting on a bus trip as a kid.
Absolutely, wasn't it?
We kicked one. We kicked one with about 3 minutes to go. The
Jeez,
entire
the boys
we stormed the field. Yeah, it was very good. So, yeah, that was a little bit better than the West Coast Eagles' efforts on the weekend. Follow us on YouTube. Give us a subscribe over there. We've got the Bottle Mart Roughie of the Week this week, Hammer. So you need to...
I got that. I nearly got that last week. My Bottle Mart Roughie of the Week was Adelaide, and they went down by 2 points.
Well, you almost got it, but you
disappointing.
You still didn't. Okay. Make sure you get onto froth.town to get your tickets to Frothtown's Hammer. I almost called you Skeeter. But the most important thing I want to announce today, the BackChat boys with Shelter have made a beer. And we're bloody releasing it today. The BackChat Ale, a beer for during and after the game. This is a backman's beer. This is just the sort of beer just gets the job done. Gets kicked in there, contest halved.
That's what you want. Win or half a contest.
Like not even one, mate. You just get it done. Just get it, drink it, done, beer.
The Jack Buckley of beers.
That is correct. BackChat Ale, it's a beer for during and after the game. Shelter and BackChat, we've combined, and we're releasing it tonight at the Gate Bar and Bistro. You're invited, Hammer.
I'll be there.
6:30 tonight, and so are you if you're listening along. Come down, be standing around having a beer, talking shit.
I'll be there with bells on.
I don't know how much more you need from an event.
Exactly.
There's no ticket price. We'll be giving away some beer, some merch. Having a bit of fun down there at the Gate Bar and Bistro. So get down. Very limited release. So there's only a few places selling cans of these. So if you want to get a can, you might want to get down to the Gate Bar and Bistro. 6:30 tonight, Thursday, if you're playing along at home.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Looking forward to that. Now, talk about big moments of the round usually straight off the top, Hammer. My big moment of the round is the first day at Lord's, huge day of cricket. Did you watch any?
No, I didn't.
I'll tell you who did. Mark Skeeter Reddings. Now, he's very much a big part of the furniture in here at the Shelter FootyCast. I'm just going to give you the stream of text messages I've had from Skeeter. This is at 11:20 p.m.
Yep.
Right? And
right in the thick of it.
I wasn't up.
No, of course.
Before that, I said, how you going, mate? No reply for about 4 hours. So this is like during play. So he's obviously getting stuck in. 11:20 p.m. Drinking Pims, ... champagne, ... beer, ... and bourbon in the sun at Lord's. What the fuck could go wrong? So that's from Skeeter. And I said, how fucking good, Skeeter? And he goes, then a bit of an update. Okay, been on the gas since 6 p.m. your time, so stick that on the Shelter FootyCast, my friend. Said, where are you, mate? You must be having a good time. He said, I'm on the tube on the way home with the missus. Jeez, it was fun. He's been dragged home, Skeeter. And he summed it up with, I love drinking and I love sports. That's about it.
Loves drinking, loves sports, but he's been sent back to the pavilion on the tube.
Absolutely. So there we go. Mark Reddings, he's over at the Ashes. We'll keep getting updates from him.
Shit, that's
They're
funny.
going well, the boys, actually. Steve Smith's batting very nicely. All right, let's get into the footy. Some big moments of the round, big moments of the week. Hall of Fame during the week, Hammer. Sam Mitchell, Jimmy Bartell, Corey Enright, Bruce McAvaney, Mark Williams, Choco Williams, Michael Aish, Tom Lay, and that was it.
Yep.
Any of those ring any bells? Any stories about those guys? Sam Mitchell, you would have spent some time at West Coast with.
Sam Mitchell, very...
Bruce McAvaney, one of the best.
Yeah, very, very good. Choco Williams, very good. Sam Mitchell was, in my opinion, one of them, a very big reason for the 18 flag. I think you've said that a number of times. But he was the midfield coach in my first year in 2018, and I remember him sitting down with me after a training session, and it was a pretty funny conversation in hindsight, but basically said, Hammer, he tried to, this was a very good effort on his behalf to try and relate the two of us, because he was a Brownlow medalist and a Hall of Famer, and I'm not. But he said, mate, you and I were very similar in this respect. We're not quick, we're not fit, and we've got no real attributes. He just goes, for you to make it, you've just got to be the smartest player out there. And I obviously wasn't. So
you haven't made it.
I remember him sitting down there, and I was just like, I was young, I was 19, I was sort of having a one-on-one with Sam Mitchell, and he goes, mate, you're not quick, you're not fit, and you've got no real attributes. You've just got to be smart.
He was trying
to help me
find the bond there.
Yeah, and I had a good laugh about it after the fact, but it was true. I wasn't quick, I wasn't fast, but it was very funny listening to him try his best to relate the two of us together.
Jimmy Bartel and Corey Enright, I was a massive Geelong fan growing up, those two were big parts. So Corey Enright, pretty much all players from that era, and we're talking Ablett, Bartel, Steve Johnson, Chapman, all these guys, they all say the best player they played with was Corey Enright. He was multiple best and fairest winner at the time. But he was like a, I don't know, winger, midfielder, back flanker. He could kind of do it all. Number 44, used to wear baggy shorts.
Brayshaw 44.
Really?
Yeah,
Same as.
The old man's number.
So he was very good. Bruce McAvaney, of course, one of the best in the business. But Mark Choco Williams. So I was at draft camp, and it was the first night at draft camp. I shouldn't have been there in the first place. I didn't know what I was doing there. Everyone was rolling around and big dogs. I was this runner that was skinny. And anyway, all the stuff started the next day. We got there on a Tuesday night, and we flew in, had dinner, and it was like back to your dorms, go to sleep. Big 4 days coming up.
Yep.
I get a knock on my door in my dorm by myself, and it's Mick Moylan. So he was a recruiter at Port Adelaide.
Yeah.
At the time, and he said, we want to have a meeting with you right now. And I'm pretty much in my jocks, in my jammies, just getting ready for bed, snuggling up my teddy or something. And I said, oh, righto, let me get some clothes on, blah, blah, blah. Go in, and he takes me to this room, the Port Adelaide room.
Yeah.
All the lights are off. There's a computer in the middle, and the glow of the computer is just lighting up Mark Choco Williams' face. And I'm 17, no idea what I'm doing there in the first place. I just want to do the beep test and get out of there. And Choco's like, sit down, mate. How you going? And scary interview, asked me all these questions, and then showed me this piece of vision. It was someone kicking out, and he paused it just before they kicked it, and he's like, "What should this player do?" One of those ones, mate, decision making ones. So he was testing my decision making. I said, I looked around. There was sort of a half free guy off to the flank. I said, this guy's like, nah. There's a guy in the pocket by himself kicking him, nah. Ruckman's down the middle, one-on-one. Said, down the middle, nah. Mate, I literally was like, I don't know. Cannot answer you. He's like, think about it. I'm like, nah, cannot answer you. And he goes, have a look. And I couldn't answer. There was no one on the mark, and right in front of the goal square there was 40 metres of space. He's like, I want you to play on and take the game on, son. Needless to say, I didn't get drafted by Port Adelaide.
That's fair.
So that's very good. The battle for the 8 heats up. 7 teams, 1 game away from each other right now. So who are they?
Well, I'm not sure, but I was having it while you're getting that up. Wow. I was at dinner last night with Andrew and Caleb Sarong. We were having dinner, and we're talking about the finals race.
Yes.
1 game between 5th and 2 games between 5 and 15.
St Kilda, Essendon, Western Bulldogs, Adelaide, Geelong, Gold Coast, Freo, all within 1 game, 32 to 28.
And then the
points.
Next couple of teams are only 1 more game behind that.
So there's a half a game to Richmond.
Yeah, from 5 to 15, there's 10 points, which is 2.5 games, and there's 9 games to go. And we were running through their draw. We were running which games they've got to win, and it was.
They're going to play finals?
Well, the finals race is heating up. It's heating right up. They've got it. There's a couple of good old fashioned 8-pointers coming up for grabs.
Unreal. I like
this
to
week
hear that.
Included.
Bit of insight there from Hamish. Brayshaw. Let's get into some of the breakdowns of the games. Will Schofield, Hamish Brayshaw, Shelter FootyCast. West Coast and Freo. We spoke about West Coast game in Sydney on the weekend. Absolutely dreadful. They get a chance to rebound against the Saints this weekend at home. The Saints are pushing for top 4 at the moment. They're in 5th position on the ladder.
They are pushing for top 4 at the moment, and West Coast aren't. But it's a tough game, obviously.
Well, it's turned into a little bit what's happened in the Waffle, which is where you play your footy at the moment. It's a percentage boost for the Saints. Like that's what they'll be looking at. I don't know if you can look at it any other way. Now you can't just rock up and beat teams.
No, you can't.
But the way that West Coast have been performing, this looms as an important game for teams over the next probably 3 to 4 weeks that can play West Coast. I think Sydney went up 14 percentage points on the weekend,
which is ludicrous.
Yeah, which is big.
That's pitbull feet ludicrous.
It's big.
It's going to be it's no mean feat to go out there and put in a performance, but they certainly won't get beaten by as much as they did last week.
Yes.
They'll be better.
Yeah, correct. So Elliot Yeo, disappointing for West Coast. He'll be out for a hip. You got to feel for Yeo. Like regardless of what you think about body not holding up, just for the mental aspect of being in rehab for a long time. I don't know how much time you spent in rehab.
My first 6 months.
Yeah, it's not a good space to be in.
It's shit house. It's shit, but. He's been in there for more often than not for the last 3 years.
Almost 4, mate. He's it started in 2020, 21, 22, 23, all injury-affected seasons. So Elliot Yeo will be out.
And he's a massive out for them. He was just getting going too.
I would have Elliot Yeo as the best West Coast best player.
Yeah.
Is that outrageous?
Oscar Allen, Tim Kelly, they've both been playing really well.
In prime. Prime and importance.
Oh, yeah, prime and importance, he's right up there.
Nananui's probably there as well.
Yeah.
Cripps and Hearn, a chance to come back and play for West Coast, so a bit of leadership added back to the mix. Tim Membry is still a month away for the Saints. They're starting to get some numbers back, though. The interesting thing about the Saints is they've had only 28 players play this year. Very different to West Coast. It's a very Ross Lyon of them.
I thought they were going to be so bad.
Yes.
At the start of the year.
Yes.
I thought they were going to be horrendous. But, they've been weirdly good. They're not kicking massive scores, but they're just not getting scored against.
That's Ross.
And that's Ross, isn't it? So
their next 5, West Coast, Melbourne, Gold Coast, North, Hawthorn. Mate, they win 4 of their next 5s in Kilda.
Wow.
West Coast, away. Melbourne at home, that'll be tough.
That's a tough
Gold
game.
Coast, North, Hawthorn. They will win 4 of their next 5s in Kilda.
Goodness me.
They're playing finals, absolutely.
Wowee.
Who do you pick in that one, Hammer?
Oh, I'll tip the Coasters, mate. West Coast Eagles.
I know you've got to pick West Coast, unfortunately for you. Mate, that could be your roughie. That could be the bottom up roughie of the week for you.
It could be. I'll have a look at the odds.
Okay, very good. Bottom up roughie of the week. Not allowed to bet, so
Obviously.
you won't be looking at the odds.
Well, I will be, but I won't be. I'll be tipping.
Western Bulldogs v Fremantle. I picked St Kilda, by the way. Western Bulldogs v Fremantle. Marvel Stadium. Huge game. I reckon one of the big games of the weekend.
Yeah, it's a good old-fashioned 8-pointer, this one.
Western Bulldogs absolutely did the Dockers silly last time these two teams played. They got too carried away with the physicality on Rory Lobb.
Yep.
They moved their focus from what mattered, which was the footy and the fundamentals of it, and they got beaten easily.
Yeah. That was early on in the year, though. And Freo was shaky early. I feel like they're obviously shaky now because they've lost a couple, but they're just hitting their straps again. And now it's the whips are cracking. It's do or die. I think the Dockers get it done.
Fremantle haven't been in the 8 this year.
No, I think the Dockers get it done.
This is a really hard game. I would.
The bottom up roughie's got to be above $3. I wouldn't have thought
correct.
these are above $3.
No, they're not. Not at this stage anyway. It's close. So the Western Bulldogs are pretty strong favourites though. Look, I would love to pick Freo. I want nothing more than be a successful side in Western Australia.
Of course.
What I've seen off the bye, a game against Essendon at home, that they were never going to lose. Like they were never losing that game.
Of course.
I'm putting that to the side. So all I've got to work with is Richmond at home. They get done. GWS putrid against them.
Obliterated.
Away from home. But the big factor in all of this is Sean Darcy for mine.
Always a good player, isn't
he? He's proved to me that his importance to the team is greater than no other. He is the most important player at Freo.
Oh shit, yeah, he's right up there
because of what he does at the midfield with your brother and others. Sarong, O'Meara, Aish is back this week, I believe.
That's nice.
Matty Johnson played his best game of the club last week. That sometimes happens with young players, right? They come in and play a role and do good things, but then a more senior player like a James H comes back and Matty
Pushes you out of
Johnson,
the way.
he'll end up in a role that's probably not as suited to him as he played last week.
Yeah, but he's still got lots of room to grow. He's a good player. I just think they get it done, mate. I think they get it done.
You can't just keep saying I think it get it done. You need some facts and figures. No Liam Jones, no Tim O'Brien, no Jason Johannesson.
Oh, well, there you go. There's your facts and figures. Shove that up your ass.
No Ed Richards.
Well, no Ed Richards, game over.
So, Matty Johnson and Alex Pearce both cleared to play this week. They were under a little bit of a cloud. Sean Darcy, Frederick, both the same. I just think with Sean Darcy in the team, what Luke Jackson can do around the footy, in front of the ball, it makes them look like a more rounded team. With Jackson in the ruck, no Darcy, they look stretched up forward. It doesn't happen in the middle like it usually does, especially as the game goes on, because I think Jackson gets tired in there.
Sure.
And then their defence gets exposed.
Okay, well, yeah,
So
I don't disagree with that. However, Darcy is playing. Jackson will play up forward. They won't get exposed in the middle. So I think they get it done. There's your facts and figures.
Boy, this is a big pick. I am picking Western Bulldogs to win at home. Look,
Okay,
I'll be cheering for Freo, but I'm going with my head.
Yeah.
Western Bulldogs to win.
Silly.
Will Schofield, Hamish, Brayshaw, Shelter FootyCast. I don't know what that part in the brackets means, so you're going to have to explain that to me.
What does it say?
I don't know.
Can I have a look?
TM comments. I don't know what that means. Brisbane Lions v Richmond Tigers at the Gabba. This is Thursday night footy. We love Thursday night footy. Well, I do at least, because it means we don't have to have one more day without football. That's tonight.
Yeah, I'll be watching that.
Brisbane, Richmond, big game.
Teams.
Richmond are one of the only sides that I have any amount of confidence going to the Gabba because of the style of footy that gets played up there. It's greasy, it's wet sometimes. Doesn't matter if it's hot or cold, it's still a bit greasy. You know the game. You know the ground well.
Yeah,
this is like your office, mate.
I'm a Gabba specialist. It's where I obviously do my best work. 5 touches, 1 point, no tackle. 1 tackle, 2 tackles maybe. I can't remember, but a win nonetheless. It's shaping up to be a cracking game. It is. What are the odds on this one, please? Because
Brisbane, strong favourites.
Yep.
Yeah, you could have this as your roughie.
Because this would be my bottom up roughie of the week.
There we go, the bottom up roughie of the week. Hamish Brayshaw is going to select the
the Richmond Tigers, mate. They are cracking hot at the moment. Tim Taranto is in the best form of anyone in the competition.
Which is hilarious.
Dustin Martin is back and he's firing and he goes up there. They've won a flag up there. They're just good. Did they win the flag up there? Actually, yeah, they definitely did. They smoked Geelong. Dusty's in form. Bolton's in form. Taranto's in form. But they're all just good players. And they're going well. They're singing. New coach has got them flying. Dimmer would be disappointed watching on.
So on that point, McWald's put his hand up to be the future coach of the Richmond Tigers. I don't think anyone sits in front of him right now. I realise there's
I wouldn't have thought
some guys around the league, like a Nathan Buckley or experienced guys that have coached teams. But right now, he's got them triggered.
Singing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got them genuinely singing. So they'll be my bottom up roughie. I think they get it done.
You've talked me around here.
Yeah, I'm not sold on Brisbane is the only thing.
Neither am I. I've been well and truly off them. Didn't pick them last week and they win.
Yeah.
I may still be off them.
They can be, like the Gabba's the only thing that, they don't lose there very often. That's obvious. But I'm just not sold on them.
Well, I'm not sold on them because of the debacle that went on a couple of weeks ago where you had 2 senior players going to the coach and dropping themselves. Have you ever done that before, Hammer?
I'd just like to say that I'm not up to the standard.
Yeah, I like.
Give me a week in the twos.
So that continues. Rich and Gunston still
not even a week in the twos. Let me get my form back on the track.
Yes. If anyone who's played any
they
level
obviously
of
just wanted to go to. They had a beer launch that night. Yeah, they just didn't want to play.
BackChat Ale get down to the gate 6:30 p.m. Boys. They're still unavailable.
Gunston and Rich will be there.
Jack Gunston, Daniel Rich will be at the gate Thursday night 6:30 to launch the BackChat Ale. Absolutely good to see you boys. I'm going to pick Richmond. Holy shit.
There it is.
I like Richmond. That's very good. Not a lot to look at with ins and outs for this game. No Zorko for Brisbane still. Yeah, I'm still not hot on Brisbane. I think Richmond can get it done.
I think they also can, which is nice.
Sydney v Geelong Friday at the SCG. You know what else? Wait, you know what else on that last game?
What else on that last game?
Oh, I picked Brisbane. Take it back.
Okay.
Richmond coming off the bye.
Ooh.
There's something like 2 and 10 off the bye. teams.
Okay.
I'm picking Brisbane.
Yeah, but I don't mind the new coach to right that wrong and get up there and get it done.
I like it. Sydney Geelong Friday night SCG. Bit of form. Sydney's coming off at the SCG in evening games. They've just come off the back of a 200-point debacle at West Coast Eagles. They played Geelong, which should be a bigger challenge. Still a good game, this one, though. Geelong still aren't quite there, the grand final premiership.
No, they're not.
Team.
They did just knock off Melbourne.
And Sydney are building. This is, of course, the grand final replay.
It is the grand final replay. It's shaping up to be a cracking contest. Sydney, you have to take last week out of it, I think.
Yes.
They have been average. They've just not been a very good side.
Their last two games against the Cats, they've lost by 81 and 93 points in that order.
Yeah, well, there you go. I don't think Sydney have been very good. Obviously, you get confidence off a win like that, and everyone's firing, and the Lizard's doing lizard things, and Isaac Heaney's all of a sudden the world's greatest man. And Tom Hickey has turned into Polly Farmer somehow.
Yes.
So I don't think they're going to be... It'll be competitive. I don't think it'll be an 80-point, 90-point
Buddy
loss.
Franklin, chance to come back this week?
Potentially. I'm going to go the Geelong Cats.
This is about even money across the board, so I'm going to go Geelong at 2.
They need to get going to make the 8.
Yeah.
The Cats.
You know what? I'm swapping again.
Wow.
I'm picking Sydney. Jeremy Cameron out.
Cameron out is
Dangerfield
huge.
is still a big question mark
Massive
after
question
his
mark.
collapsed lung. He did train on Sunday, so he could be back in.
Yep.
Buddy comes back, Jeremy Cameron in. I think that's a 6-goal swing.
Cameron out, Buddy in, yep.
And I think Sydney somehow get it done.
Yeah, they could, mate. No question.
Kick their season into... Look, what I saw in person in Sydney, I understand there was witches' hats out there, but they looked very good. I'm not sure if you could look any better than they looked last week. I know you just say,
of course.
put it to the side.
They look very good, yeah.
No one else has done that against the West Coast Eagles this year.
That's true.
I'll pick it.
That having been said, I think Geelong get it done.
I'm picking Sydney. Can't have that as my bottom up. Adelaide Crows v North Melbourne, Adelaide Oval, 11:45. First game on Saturday. Crows, middle of the ladder and the 8 here. They need to, we said, they're one of these teams that's fighting for that spot.
Whips are cracking for them.
I think they're one of the better ones of those sides, though. From what I was saying, they've been competitive. Again, Locks and Kilda, I didn't think they'd be any good.
Should have beaten Collingwood last week.
They should have beaten them the first time they played.
Yep.
That's twice in a row against the undisputed at the moment, best team in the common, and Port Adelaide.
Jordan Dawson should have got a free kick after the siren almost.
Yeah, was that on the siren, after the siren?
Just on the siren, and the umpires came out and said we should have given it to him.
They should have given it to him. A bunch of Adelaide players have been out saying basically like that was a free kick, that was bullshit. It's been an interesting week following that sort of little debacle. Usually you don't hear much, but players
they've been very outspoken about it, which is nice.
North Melbourne has never won at Adelaide Oval, 10 games. They've never won there.
And they won't.
No, I don't think they continue with that.
I don't think they
think that
I love
streak
the Crows.
continues.
I reckon the Crows are real hot favourites.
LDU returns for the North.
He's a good player.
He is. He's back after 6 weeks on the sideline. That was with a hammy. I think Adelaide I think they're really up towards that upper echelon of bottom 4 sides in the 8.
Yep.
So
I think they're 5-6 quality. Yep.
Yeah. Like them. Crows have scored 50% of their inside 50s, ranked number 1 in the competition. Anytime they get it in there, they score 1 out of 2 times.
Tex, Rankin, Rochelle.
Every time they get it in there, they score every time. 50% of the time.
Phil Thorpe. They've got some good players up there.
All right, we're both picking Adelaide. Very good. Gold Coast v Collingwood, Heritage Bank Stadium. Is this interesting whatsoever? Gold Coast has lost its last 4 matches against Collingwood at home. The most recent by just 5 points in round 16 last year. So you're telling me there's a chance?
You're telling me there's a chance.
Stewie Dew recognises Dacos as the best player in the competition. Basically called him untaggable during the week. Yeah.
He's still going to try, I would have thought.
Why don't you tag him physically? That's a bit of a like lowering the guard a little bit, just like
potentially false sense of comfort. The Trojan horse.
Yes.
Hey, here you go, Nick Dacos. You're the best player, but no one's going to tag you. Next thing
is this the first year that is this the first year that Gold Coast can make the finals, regardless of this game?
Yeah, I think so. I think they've got a good list. They certainly can. I don't think they'll win this week. Nick Dacos is a pretty good player.
Tuke Miller 1 week away. He won't play this week.
That's big.
Jordan He's still on the Gold Coast having beers. I think he's still on suspension after that big hit on Elijah Hewitt. We won't speak about that. Side bottom still 2 weeks away with an MCL. We both got Collingwood in this one?
Yeah, we both got Collingwood in this one, I believe.
I think we move on. Essendon v Port Adelaide. MCG. The Power face the Bombers at the MCG for the first time since round 15, 1998.
At the G.
Yeah.
Wow.
They've been playing at Marvel, obviously.
1998.
So not a lot of form to go on in this one.
No, not a lot. None in one game in my living memory.
Yeah, that's correct.
Well, not living memory. I was not even one.
1998, Essendon, Port Adelaide. The 27-point defeat came against the Power. The Bombers won.
Early in the Powers, that was in the Powers' infancy, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's
you would have
right.
thought so.
That's right. How do you see this one going? This is Port Adelaide. They've won 11 in a row. Essendon in that group fighting for top 8 spot. They were poor last week against the Dockers, I thought. Mm-hmm. Do they bounce back coming back from the Perth trip?
No, they don't. Okay. I don't think they do. I think Port Adelaide are the real deal. I think they've got stars all over the ground. I think they've got the best midfield in the comp. And I think they just run rings around, unfortunately, the Bombers.
Port Adelaide off the bye.
No, doesn't matter. They will. In my opinion, I think they'll win by 10 goals plus.
Yes, I sort of agree. No Draper again. No Sammy Draper. He's important.
He is important. Scotty Lysette might have 1,000 hit-outs, but they'll just get it. They'll smack them.
Okay, very good. Port Adelaide. We both picked Port Adelaide. Hawthorn v Carlton at the MCG.
Hawthorn win it.
Hang on a second.
Carlton are the worst team in the whole world.
Oh, Essendon Port's 5.25. We're coming back into... Oh, no, we're on Sunday now. Okay, very good. Hawthorn, Carlton, MCG. Who do you think?
I think Hawthorn win. Carlton are the worst team I've ever seen. I have no time for them anymore, ever. I will not tip them again in my whole life. And Hawthorn will just win. Hawthorn get it done.
Scully's Bottlemart Roughie of the Week. Start your footy weekend at Bottlemart. Grab your shelters where Bottlemart has you covered. I'm pretty sure they'll have some BackChat ales, which will be released.
They will.
Thursday tonight, 6:30 p.m. at the Gate Bar and Bistro. Get down there and catch up with us. I'm picking Hawthorn too.
Good.
I don't like Carlton.
No, I don't. I don't think they're... I just think they've got...
I like them as people, just not as a team.
Yeah, they're just not... Like, what are they? They've got 2 Coleman medalists who don't like kicking goals.
Yes.
They've got a Brownlow medalist who is the biggest human being ever, and he's a gun.
They're coming off the bye.
They're coming off the bye. No one wins off the bye except for Port Adelaide and Geelong.
Yes.
They're just like... They've just got... I just don't like them.
This is 15th v 16th. Jeez, Carlton have been poor. How are they 15th or 16th?
Because they're the worst team ever. They're just not good at all.
Mate, they're $1.30 favourite.
Well, shut up and take none of my money.
Yeah, correct.
Because I can't bet.
I'll see you there.
Yeah, they're just shit. They won't win.
Yeah, Hawthorn has generated clearance from 83.5% of its first possessions at centre bounces, ranked number 1.
There you go.
Very good from the middle.
Exactly.
Awesome from the middle. Yeah, very good from the middle. So, look, Carlton have been poor. They come off the bye. Sicily's still out for Hawthorn, though. That's important to note.
Yeah, that's important.
But I think Hawthorn win this
So do I.
because of the competitive spirit that recently inducted AFL Hall of Famer Sam Mitchell has induced in them. So there you go. Hawthorn win it in my Bottlemart Roughie of the Week. Melbourne v GWS. Traeger Park, Alice Springs. We're back in.
Yeah, we're back in Alice.
We love Alice. Have you ever played there?
No, mate.
Cracky? Been there?
No. I've never been to Alice Springs.
Really?
No, never. No.
Very good. Very hot. One of the great games to play in. Mm-hmm. Always a big crowd. Big, huge local fan base. Get absolutely all around it. It's just it's just an unreal atmosphere.
We said this on BackChat a couple of weeks ago. The most picturesque ground.
Yeah.
Did we?
Yeah.
Outside of obviously the Shanghai Castle.
Got the red dirt, green. The grass is incredibly green.
Yeah, isn't
They're
it?
just filtering all water just into the footy
Yeah,
oval.
it's beautiful.
It's in a great state. Melbourne has won 4 of its last 5 here, so it's a little bit of a home net game advantage. Mm-hmm. I was having a look at this one as maybe a little sneaky upset chance, or are you happy with how Melbourne are going? GWS are going bloody well.
GWS are humming, and obviously the thing, Melbourne have got some good defenders. Like you've got Stephen May, you've got Jake Lever, you've got good backs there.
Well, they're going to need them because since round 12, the Giants have won the inside 50 count by 21 per game, ranked number 1 in the competition. Yeah. So they're getting supply.
They're getting supply, but Melbourne have got those good backs, but obviously GWS have got Jack Buckley, so that's going to be massive for the Giants.
Clayton Oliver had the longest running hamstring in history.
Well,
He'll miss again.
It was a hamstring and then an infected blister.
That's right.
So
then it's back to hammy. I think he's done his hammy again.
Well, it was back to hammy, and now they were worried about the blister again. Apparently tapes his feet up more than anyone on the planet.
Right.
But I think
needs to get some hard. Needs to get some Fry's balsam on hard.
How shit is that stuff? Dad used to just, whenever you had a cut, come here, fuck Fry's. Oh God, it hurt.
If you're listening along, you wonder what Fry's balsam is. It'd be something like petrol, and you pour it on cuts,
pretty much,
and it feels like you're putting.
It looks like betadine, but it stings
acid into your system.
Yeah, it's like rubbing salt in an open wound, except instead of salt, you're just stabbing yourself even more.
So he's still out.
Yeah, I think Melbourne. will bounce back and are good enough. But I think it'll be a tight game.
I'll pick Melbourne too.
There you go.
Will Schofield, Hamish Brayshaw, Shoulder FootyCast. Yeah, we've got some West Coast Eagles questions to get through here at the end, Hammer. If you want to just remove yourself, you can, but I think you'll be able to handle your business here. James Quackenbush.
Are we on? Are we real?
No, I think it's real.
Quackenbush.
Jimmy, we love you. We love you, mate. Thank you for writing in. If you want to get in contact with us, you can get in contact with us either at BackChat, hello@backchatpodcast.com.au or footycast@shelterbrewing.com.au.
I really hope Jimmy gets called the Duck.
Otherwise,
the Duck. That'll be an oversight from all his friends.
From the Duck. Hi, guys. With the seemingly endless West Coast injury list, should AFL teams be able to sign players at any stage of the year from any of the state leagues to at least a minimum short-term contract, 4 weeks minimum, who have previously nominated for the AFL draft? For example, in the NBA, once you have nominated for the draft, you're classified as an NBA-eligible pro and can be picked up at any time in your career. Love your work. Need to send a few cases of shelter to Lords for the Aussies to celebrate with none none of that Crown Lager piss. Talk to me about this. This is relevant to you.
Yep.
Do you like that idea?
I do like that idea. It's it's a niche one because I don't think there's been many teams in the position that the Eagles are in, but they could certainly use it. Like it's a
not just for West Coast. What
for anyone. It's like a little 4 week.
Okay, so would you go, Essendon, pick you up this week? Would you go and play for 4 weeks?
Well, it's hard. You got to put your life on hold. I don't think it would be something. I wouldn't do it. No.
I don't think you would either.
No, I feel like there'd be kids that would, like younger guys that would do it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like if someone was studying, or you got a 23-year-old who's missed a couple of drafts and he's flying in the waffle or the sample and wants to put his hand up and he's just living at home doing uni. Sweet, get on a plane and have a crack.
I did see a cheeky article just before we jumped on here. Gil McLaughlin and probably Andrew Dillon taking over from Gil are speaking about some sort of trade scenario where players can be traded without the consent, basically. Did you see what it was?
No, it wasn't.
That was the idea. That was the concept of it, that you can trade whoever you like.
I didn't really like the concept of that without their consent, but it's the idea of mid-season trading has obviously been thrown up plenty of times.
Yes.
It's an interesting one. I think back on this on the Ducks point, if it was, I think you would have to sign. I don't like the idea that if you didn't nominate for the draft, you're in this. I feel like the idea of a 4-week contract or something, if you signed up for that at the start of the year, a bit like the mid-season draft, you can nominate for this draft pool as well.
Right.
So you're in the mix for that.
Right.
Because I think that would be the nominating for the national draft is like you're giving yourself the opportunity to add a career, whereas this is just a stint.
The argument against it would be protecting the state leagues.
Yep.
It takes away craft of the draft. If you don't mind, I'm going to put that on a T-shirt somewhere. But it takes away that skill of putting a list together and making sure you've got enough depth on your list, so you don't just get to go and just pick willy-nilly out of the state leagues.
Yeah, I think even if this was brought in, it wouldn't be used haphazardly. I think you'd have, like West Coast are in a position where they've now got one player playing waffle footy.
Yes. And
it's like, if they needed to be competitive, if they would like to be competitive and wanted to take, the best, there was a bloke who played for the Sample who got drafted to Geelong, and Aaron Hardy, I think his name was. No, he's a cricketer. Someone Hardy. Yes. And dominated the state game, and he was dominating Sample. If they looked at him and thought, fuck, we need a bit of stability for the next 4 weeks. A guy like that would be...
I'll be up for it. I think we need to open things up. So if that's an idea that does it, I agree. And a bit of an update here has come straight off the hot desk here from Jaden. His nickname is Quacks. We have confirmed.
His nickname's Quacks?
Yes.
Okay, I like it.
Absolutely. Not Ducks, Quacks. Tin and Tan, that's not a name, it's just a username. Writes in, one thing a new coach will change is loyalty to players. A new coach did not win a flag with any of these lads. They may be able to more easily make some tough calls. Also, new ideas, enthusiasm, driving standards. So this would be on the back of some of the chat around Adam Simpson, but if you move slightly away from that, Alistair Clarkson, Damien Hardwick, and what we're talking about with McWalter and what Brett Ratton has done at North Melbourne, there's been differences of performance. Now, does a new coach change that? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, there's different arguments to make around that, but I think the loyalty to players is an interesting one. Like the new coach coming in hasn't have the history, doesn't have anything with a new. You've gone into the waffle this year and played under different coaches. Mm-hmm. What do you think about new coaches, just in general?
It's an interesting one. I think, like, obviously you bring a fresh set of eyes and a new opinion to things. Playing under, I had a different coach last year than I had this year, and it's just it changes the feel and the environment of the place, and they have obviously a different way of delivering messages. For the most part, game plans are the same nowadays. Like,
yes,
you're not playing a different game style.
I don't think that's commonly known.
No,
that is a fact that people maybe don't understand.
There's probably not, like a 2 or 3% difference in the way teams try and play the game.
Yeah.
For the most part, it's the same.
Yeah, some execute it better.
Some execute it better, yes. But the principle is win the contest, get the ball going forward, set up your defence behind the ball, keep it in your front half.
Yes.
No, there's heaps of ways to skin a cat. You can say that however you want, but that's the main way every team in professional football plays. So I think you get with different coaches, you get a different look at it. I think I imagine this question's about Simo. No one, like, there's nothing that anyone ever can do about what's going on there. He's like people calling for his head and all this and that and the other. And it's like, what are you expecting of him? Like, you can't. His hands are tied. He literally can't do a thing about what's going on there. So
I think you can see that on his face when he speaks to the media at this stage. It's like, well, I'm not sure what you want me to do. I agree with you. We've had a couple of Bottle Mart roughies of the week. Start your weekend with Bottle Mart. Grab your shoulders where Bottle Mart has you covered. Make sure you get down to the gate. Hamish Brayshaw will be there.
I'll be there.
Cal from Southern Riverband might be there. Daniel Rich, Jack Gunston may be there.
They're coming. If someone fakes, they're off.
6:30 tonight, the Gate Bar and Bistro. Get down for a BackChat Ale. It's just a beer that gets the job done.
Isn't it
during and after the games, and it tastes bloody good. Looks good too. Hammer, appreciate you coming in today,
worries,
mate. You're going to be with us while Skeeter's on his junket over at Lord's.
Yep.
Looking forward to spending a couple more weeks here with you on the Shelter FootyCast. Good luck on the weekend.
Thank you very much. We got to bye.